Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. One, two, three. Can you hear me? Hello, Moonwakers. Kinda here. Let's see. Hello, hello. Will you let me know if you're able to hear me? Crackly. Okay. Let me see if I can fix that. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is it still crackly? Hello, hello. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let me see. I would like the crackliness to go away. So if it gets better, will you let me know? Still about the same, less crackles. Okay. Thank you so much for staying here. Still crackly. Okay. Hello, hello. Is this any better? Is the audio better? Please let me know. Somebody hacked the ship. Yes, technical difficulties. Thank you for waiting. Is the audio better? Not yet. Okay. Almost all gone. Okay, maybe I should try smacking it, as Rosie mentioned earlier. It is better, but there is still a little crackle. Okay, one last try. I'll be right back. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Nerdy. Thank you for joining. I am trying. I'm smacking. Hopefully this works. I'm not sure why audio just went out. Audio is back. Oh, good. Is it crackly? Oh, good. Thank you for the feedback. Audio sounds more clear. Okay. I'm going to try and not touch it, so hopefully it doesn't break. I promise you things on the Starliner are not as fragile as they seem. Almost all the crackles are gone. Good, good. Okay. I'm going to try and not touch it. Yes, but you're audible. Is it... Hi, Terry. Thanks for joining. Is the crackles... I don't hear the crackles. Are they annoying? Should I try again? I'm afraid if I touch something, it all comes down like a house of cards. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Dizzy. I'm trying, and I appreciate your patience. Hello? Okay. If it's not too bad, we'll go ahead and get started. And then if it's really bad, maybe on the next stream, I'll switch a mic. So thank you. Okay. I appreciate your patience with me. We'll get started. Hi, Audible. Thanks for joining. Oh, it's your local baker and editor, your hope on TikTok. Oh, I appreciate. Hi, Yami. Thank you. Hi, Pancake. No, we're just getting started. I've had 30 minutes of technical issues, and Moonmakers have been so kind to offer their suggestions. So we're going to get started. Hello, Moonmakers. You're listening to Mission Briefing Live with Astra, an interactive late-night radio talk show in a quiet cabin aboard the Starliner. I'm Astra, your flight attendant. Thanks for joining me. This is your soft corner of the universe, where you're free to listen, drift, and let go. If you're new here, welcome. You've been aboard before. Welcome back. Hi, Nexus. Thanks for joining. Also, Spooky, thank you for making time for us between your bed rotting and napping. Thank you, Manta, for the feedback. Tonight's live stream is special. Welcome to a Starliner Christmas, a holiday special. Thank you for joining me on the longest night of the year, the winter solstice. Tomorrow is the shortest day, and from then on, the sun returns a little earlier and sets a little later again. If you've been to a mission briefing before, you know that tonight I'll ask a few questions, you'll share your thoughts, we'll chit-chat, play trivia, listen to some music together, and see where the night takes us. The universe is full of wonders, where strange and beautiful things drift in orbit. And you, Moonmaker, are one of them. Close your eyes, take a breath. You've arrived. You made it through another day. Let's begin. Yes, John, tonight is the longest night of the year. It's the winter solstice, and starting tomorrow, the days will get longer again. Hi, Paul. Thank you for coming back. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Possible. Okay, so here's a question to open tonight's live stream. What's something you're quietly wishing for this Christmas? For me, this might be a bit embarrassing to admit, but this year I would really like to learn how to sing. I haven't made a promise to myself yet, but that's one of the things I'd like to do this year. And you, Moonmaker, what's something you would like for Christmas this year? Happy winter solstice. Yes, yes. Hi, Draco. Thanks for joining. I've got Moonmakers on both TikTok and YouTube. Hello, Bleach. You're back. Spooky says for Christmas he would like a nice paycheck bonus or a game of Dungeons and Dragons. Rosie says they would like the world to feel a little kinder. Oh, and she says thanks for the compliment. It is a super fun goal. Yeah, it's a challenging goal. Floopy says they would like a good night's sleep this Christmas. I too would very much want that. John says for Christmas, they would like to finally start feeling less pain when they walk. I miss being able to walk pain free. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Audible says for Christmas, I want to see my sister. She's my everything, and I'm so proud of the woman she's grown to be. That's so sweet. Thank you for sharing that. Are the two of you close? Terry says, honestly, just a wonderful time with friends and family. That sounds really nice. Rosie has a shout out for John. I feel that one deep in my soul. Fernando says, good sleep and a game. Welcome, Fernando. I noticed you were on the stream hours earlier. Thank you for joining. Okay. On TikTok, Trashy says they want a few drinks on Christmas. Oh, well, you're in luck. We have a couple of drinks in a little bit. Pancake says, I'm not sure actually. I don't usually ask for things ever, really. It's good. I think it's good to have wishes. I would love to hear if there's anything you would like. Nexus says, this year I wanted to learn how to support some friends a bit better. That's a good one. Hi, Not. Thanks for joining. Fernando says, good sleep and a game. Good sleep is a wonderful present. Savvy says, I'm not really wishing for anything. I'm just sort of just happy with what I have. That's beautiful. Bleach says, Uma Musume plushie. Oh, I don't know what that is. You'll have to share an image of it in the community tab on YouTube. I'd love to see. Paul says they would like a return of that Christmas feeling they had when they were a kid. Oh, well, hopefully tonight will give you some of that feeling back. Spooky says, I have some apple cider. Is the apple cider for Trashy over on TikTok? Because I think they want a drink. Dizzy says, to surround myself with a peaceful scene again soon. That's beautiful. John. Oh, thank you. Is there more art for me from you? That's beautiful. I will definitely check the community tab right after the stream. That's so lovely. Thank you so much for sharing with me and with other fellow moonmakers what you're wishing for this Christmas. Yes, so there is a community tab over on YouTube where you're more than welcome to post pictures. Moonwakers have shared with me photographs of stars in the sky that they've taken pictures of. Um, John has drawn a couple of things. Rosie, I would love to see photos of Taquito and Jeffrey. Hi, Guyar. Merry Christmas. Welcome, welcome. Okay, Uma Musume is a game and anime about horse girls based on real Japanese racehorse. Ooh, okay, I'll have to check it out. Midnight says they're looking forward to cooking Christmas dinner for a family. Ooh, I'd love to know what you're cooking if you don't mind sharing. Christmas dinner, or lunch, or breakfast. Always beautiful meals. So, every live stream, I try to have a segment called Comment of the Week. And for tonight's Comment of the Week, two wonderful moonwakers shared their festive holiday drink recipes this week. And I would love to pass them on to the rest of the moonwakers. The first drink is by John Craft Hobbies over on YouTube, and it's called Earl Grey Cocoa Tea. I think of it like the longest night of the year. This drink is for warmth and for staying with the dark a bit longer. The recipe goes like this. It starts with steeped Earl Grey tea. Then you add just a little hot cocoa powder, about a quarter of a packet, and finish with a generous splash of sweet cream. Hi Matcha over on TikTok. Thank you for joining. Earl Grey cocoa tea is chocolatey, gently citrusy from the bergamot of the Earl Grey, and incredibly cozy. It's the kind of drink you make when the night is long and you want something warm to hold on to. So I actually made John's Earl Grey cocoa tea earlier this morning, and I've never had Earl Grey with hot cocoa, and it was delicious. I definitely recommend it. Hi, Cuddle Bunny. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. Is my audio not working? Halo, welcome. Yeah, it's interesting. Certain people have told me that Earl Grey tastes like sweaters, but I think when paired with hot cocoa, there's something about the citrus and the chocolate that work well together. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. And the second recipe is from our onboard drink specialist. Rosie is up way too late. It's called Holiday Berry Sprite. It's for tomorrow, a drink that cheers to the shortest day of the year and the quiet return of the light. Holiday Berry Sprite starts with berries. Rosie recommends strawberries, raspberries, and cranberries, left to rest in sugar until they release their syrup, typically 24 to 48 hours. That syrup goes into the glass first, then the fruit. Then Sprite is poured gently on top so the layers stay visible. You can add some edible glitter for shimmer, a touch of green apple mix layered on top if you so desire, and the drinker gets to decide whether to stir it or let it stay just as is. It's sweet, sparkling, and looks like starlight caught in a glass. And maybe add a fun Christmassy straw to add some good cheer. There you have it. The Earl Grey cocoa tea is a companion for the long stretch of night, and the holiday berry Sprite is a toast to the turning point and the return of the light. Thanks to John Craft Hobbies, and Rosie is up way too late for sharing their recipes. I tried the Earl Grey cocoa tea earlier today. It was spectacular. I think tomorrow I'll go ahead and try the holiday berry Sprite. Mega, Mega, are you Nexus on TikTok? Mega says, I think the live went down on TikTok. Yeah, I'm not sure why. The Starliner is not cooperating with me today. Hopefully things get fixed. Spooky says, that makes me want to make some classic eggnog or spice cider. Ooh, those are definitely very holiday drinks. Before we continue, I just want to thank you for being here with me, Moonmakers. The Starliner sails tonight on the longest night of the year because of your presence. If you'd like to toss a little starlight into the engines, the tip jar is open at Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/Astra Starliner. No pressure at all. I'm just glad you're here. Let's keep going. Since this is a Starliner Christmas, I thought I might do a spin on a classic story for you. I will be reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but the Starliner edition. Yeah, I'm not sure why the live on TikTok is not coming back up. I think we might just have to stick to YouTube tonight, and I will troubleshoot after the stream. The Starliner went on vacation early. I know. Maybe it's because we didn't pour enough coffee. All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, Starliner edition. 'Twas the night before Christmas, aboard the Starliner's flight, when the engines were humming in soft, drifting light. The corridors shimmered with starlight and hush. No signals were stirring, not even a rush. The window lay open to velvet black skies, where planets hung patiently, slowly drifting by. Moonmakers were all settled in sleep pods below, while thoughts drifted gently like comets of snow. And I, in my jacket of gray and of gold, had just logged our course through the dark, vast cold. When out past the hull there arose such a gleam, a flicker, a shimmer, a curious beam. I floated to the glass with a measured delight as I watched as a vessel slid softly through night. The sun far behind us, the stars sharp and clear, gave the darkness its texture, its depth, its cheer. When what to my wandering eyes should appear but a sleigh-shaped anomaly, both polished and dear. With a jolly old pilot, so lively, so quick, I knew in a moment it had to be Saint Nick. More rapid than starlight, his thrusters they came, and he called out reindeers, laughing by name. Now, Dasher, stay steady, keep flying just right. Now, Dancer, keep pace with the turn of the night. Oh, Prancer, oh, Vixen, stay close, don't you lag. Comet, Cupid will follow the night as it drags. As sparks in the dark, when two stars drift wide, they skimmed Earth's blue curve, with darkness their guide. For Santa knew this, as all travelers might. You stay in the dark if you chase after night. Down chimneys, through airlocks, through homes far and wide, he crossed every continent, time on his side. His suit bore the markings of long starry flight, with stardust and sparkle still warm with night. His eyes, how they sparkled like faraway stars. His laughter rang softly, near and not far. He spoke not of physics, nor spin, nor mass, yet every delivery honored them all as they passed. Then back to his sleigh, through the dark did he glide, as earth turned slowly through the long winter night. But I heard him call out, as he vanished from sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And that was the reading of the classic 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but with a Starliner spin. Gonna catch up on the chat a little bit. Thank you, Spooky. Thank you for tipping the Starliner. And I think Dizzy also tipped earlier. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted working on technical difficulties. Audible says, about the Earl Grey cocoa, the drink smells like a warm hug and nostalgia. Thanks for the drink. Yes, thank you to John. Thank you to Rosie for sharing their recipes. Spooky says, Santa is immune to the effects of space. Why, certainly. He's Santa. He has magic. Oh, yes, and Bleach says Santa is a cosmic deity. Thank you for the compliment, Izzy. Spooky says, holy moly, Santa. Sorry, was that a jump scare? I didn't mean for it to be a jump scare. Maybe Santa's voice was a little loud. Thank you, Trashy. Oh, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. I'm sorry, TikTok stream went down. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you, John. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you. Oh, Nexus Point, you're here too. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, on to the next segment. Spooky says, ask Santa to enchant the engines of the Starliner. Yes, please throw some magic at the Starliner. We need all of the things to work. Thank you, Zeman. Okay, now on to the interactive segment for tonight. We're going to play a trivia game called Santa's Plight. Moonwakers, I just received a transmission from Santa himself. It sounds like Santa's navigational system got a little scrambled. The sleigh still flies, the reindeers are ready, but his navigational instruments aren't responding. So tonight, Santa has asked the Starliner for help. We'll guide him around Earth, gently, thoughtfully. Rosie says, I love this the Santa jump scare. I'm sorry. Maybe it was a little loud. Trivia. Bleach says, I love trivia. Oh, good, good. Okay, let's get started. Give me a second. Okay. Santa is delivering gifts from the North Pole. He needs to figure out the best route to deliver gifts around the earth. First, he has some choices to make. If Santa wants to begin with the continent with the fewest children, what continent should he visit first, excluding Antarctica? Any guesses? Thank you so much for the tip, Rosie. I was reading and didn't see that earlier. Thank you. Oh, okay. It looks like there is a tie between Asia and Australia. Okay. North America, Oceania, South America. Fewest, yes, the fewest number of children. So the answer is actually Australia. Asia actually has the most number of children. And Oceania is definitely a great guess. Oceania, can't even say it. Oceania has Australia, New Zealand, and a lot of the islands in the Pacific. So that is also right. So Bleach, I believe you mentioned you're in Australia, so Santa would visit you first. The most number of children is in Asia, and there are children in Antarctica, but they're usually there to visit and not there to live long term. So I guess we can safely discount Antarctica. And it's also on the other side of the globe, so that's a long trip for Santa. Maybe let's just safely exclude Antarctica. So Australia is the right answer. Santa starts small, finding his rhythm before the long night truly begins. Question 2. If Santa wants to begin with the continent where children would wake up first, that is, see sunrise first, which continent should he visit first? Any guesses? Apparently, there are children born on Antarctica, but it's usually for symbolic purposes at the research station. Okay. Guesses. Okay, we have John says Asia, Spooky says Asia or Oceania. Sissy says Asia. Oh, lots of Asia. Spooky says Oceania. So the answer actually is Australia again. And if you answered Oceania, that's also true. Australia reaches morning first. Children there would generally wake first before children on the other continents. So if Santa wants to start where the night is ending first and where there are fewer stockings to fill, Australia is actually the best first stop. Yes, Oceania is closest to the sun this time of the year. Dizzy says being an Antarctic research baby would be cool. Yeah, I think it would be really cool. Two truths and a lie. One of them being I was born on Antarctica. That would be really cool. All right. Yes, So Australia gets the advantage in everything. It's true. We forget Australia because it's so far out there. And it's really cool that for them, Christmas is during the summer. I always forget about that. Okay, question 3. To reach every child on Earth in a single night, how fast would Santa need to travel? A. The speed of a jet plane. B. Earth's orbital speed. C. The speed of a rocket. D. So fast it feels impossible without magic. Any guesses? John says Mach D. D. Okay. I think the consensus is D. So the right answer is D. Scientists estimate that Santa would need to travel around 5 million miles per hour based on the entire distance he has to cover, the number of children, and so forth. So 5 million miles per hour is 10 times faster than the fastest human-made spacecraft. Which is why, of course, Santa's sleigh runs on something we haven't figured out yet. Bleach says, unless Santa is immune to fire, he's not going out that fast without being vaporized. Santa is magic. Yes, Dizzy, if he didn't have magic. Yes. Yeah, rockets are not fast enough. Santa would have to be faster than rockets, Rosie. And Savvy. It's really, really fast. And without Santa's magic, just the amount of acceleration and deceleration from the speed, for a normal human being, we might not make it. But Santa's made of magic, so he's totally fine. Hello says he probably died of whiplash. Yeah, probably. Okay. Question 4. If Rudolph's nose works like a navigation beacon, how bright would it actually need to be to guide the sleigh through snow and fog? A. As bright as moonlight. B. As bright as car headlights. C. As bright as airplane landing lights. And D. As bright as military searchlights. How many questions are there? There's a total of 6 questions. Santa is built different. That's right. Incoming answers. Great. Okay, we have 1 vote for C, a couple for D. Any other guesses? Okay, so it seems like the general consensus is between C and D. Rosie says B because too much light reflects off of those conditions. Okay. Savvy is a good test taker. She relies on the logic of how tests are structured to guess the answers. The correct answer is C. So, airplane landing lights will be able to cut through moderate snow and fog, and that's actually enough for Santa. As for D, it's actually a really good guess. But if Rudolph's nose were as bright as military searchlights, uh, that would actually announce Santa's presence across the night sky. So as he's flying, all of us down here on Earth would be able to see Santa flying across the sky, and that would be blinding for the reindeers. If Rudolph's nose were as bright as moonlight, it would actually help Santa to stay hopeful. So if you picked A, it's a good answer. It helps keep morale. If you picked B, as bright as car headlights, that's also a good guess. Rudolph would help maintain reindeer formation. The reindeers would know where to go. The correct answer is C. Airplane landing lights would cut through moderate snow and fog, but not heavy fog. And D, for military searchlights. Not only would Rudolph's nose announce Santa's presence across the sky, it would be so blinding the reindeers wouldn't be able to fly. Catching up on the chat. So Rudolph's nose, Rudolph actually doesn't need to be a lighthouse. He just needs to be bright enough to guide reindeers, but not super bright that he overwhelms the night. Okay. What if they were? Yes, they could. They could wear sunglasses. Okay. Question 5. Which direction should Santa travel to keep chasing the night? Not multiple choice for this one. You can just throw out some guesses. So this is actually the trickiest part of Santa's journey. To deliver presents in the dark for as long as possible, Santa needs to stay in nighttime as Earth turns. Which direction should Santa travel to keep chasing the night? Okay, it's a split between east and west. So the answer is actually right behind me. By flying west, Santa moves against Earth's eastward spin. So as you can see, the planet spins to the east. If you were at the North Pole and looking down, that would be counterclockwise. And in order for Santa to stay in the dark, he would need to fly west. Santa would travel against the rotation of the Earth, so he stays in darkness just a little longer. Yeah. West, that's right. Okay, last question. Once Santa finishes and needs to go home, what object in the night sky would he use to navigate home? Yay, Rosie got one. Savvy says, I'm mad at myself. Why didn't I think to look behind you? Yeah, it's the spinning earth behind me is a giveaway. Hi Amir, welcome, welcome. You didn't miss the stream. Thank you for joining. Okay, I think everybody got this last one. The North Star is the correct answer. Oh, Google Maps. Google Maps is also a really good answer. Um, the North Star would be directly over the North Pole where Santa's house is. So by finding the North Star, he would be able to go home. It would be like a giant signpost in space pointing Santa home. Yes. Yeah, and Santa's navigation system is fried, so hopefully his cell phone still works, and Google Maps would uh, be able to assist him home. I also think if his sleigh travels that fast and the reindeers can fly that fast, I would imagine the reindeers would be like homing pigeons. Like it would just be a part of them and they would know where home is. But maybe, you know, they have magic. That's just not the type of magic reindeers have. North Star is the correct answer. John says he can see the North Star from his porch. I love stargazing this time of the year. Yes, it's beautiful. You're very lucky you're able to stargaze from your front porch. Bleach says if Santa can make a PS5, he can make himself an iPhone for Google Maps. That's true. Spooky got 4 out of 6. That's great. Anybody want to share how many they got for the trivia game? Z-Man says that they live in a city, so they have to travel for at least an hour to stargaze. Mm-hmm. Yeah, light pollution makes it very difficult. 3 out of 5 of John's favorite constellations are out in the winter. Oh, you'll have to share which one those are. Savvy. Oh, you didn't have to keep track. That's fine. I'm just curious to know. Hopefully that was fun for everybody. So we have a couple more segments for the night. We're moving on to the music portion. For tonight's song, we will listen to a piano piece that many people recognize from this time of the year. But tonight, I'm thinking of it as a song about light rising after the longest night. This is Angels We Have Heard on High, and this 3-minute version is arranged and performed by Julius H. on the grand piano. You've been listening to Angels We Have Heard on High, arranged and performed by Julius H. on the grand piano. You may remember Julius from a previous live stream where we played his arrangement of Clair de Lune. For this piece, Angels We Have Heard on High, the melody starts low and slowly climbs upward before it settles. It feels like the moment the night stops getting darker and the light begins to return. The piece suggests darkness into hope, arrival, and light. Everything I wish for, Moonwakers, tonight. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the piece. Thank you. Hello says, easily the best Christmas song ever written. Argument is strictly prohibited. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a very beautiful piece. As always, of course, if you have song suggestions, artist suggestions, feel free to let me know. Glib, welcome, welcome. You're never too late. I'm glad you enjoyed the song. Moonwakers, thank you for spending the longest I'm gonna restart. Moonwakers, thank you for spending the longest night of the year with me. Nights like this invite us to slow down, to notice what we've carried and what we're ready to set down. The winter solstice reminds us that the dark doesn't disappear all at once. It reaches its fullest point, and then, almost imperceptibly, the light begins to return. Spaces like this, quiet, gentle, unhurried, they take time and care to create. If tonight brought you comfort or warmth, or even just the feeling of not being alone for a while, and you'd like to help keep the Starliner flying through nights like this, you can support the journey on Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/AstraStarliner. That's ko-fi.com/AstraStarliner. Every star helps shape what comes next. And whether or not you choose to support, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this turning point of the year with me. From here on, the light returns, slowly, gently, one day at a time. Before we close out this evening, the Starliner and I have one more question for you. Any ideas on how we should celebrate Christmas on the Starliner next year? Spooky says they've been listening to Lofi's Christmas album. I know the artist. I've seen her on Instagram before. Her music is beautiful, but I have not listened to her Christmas album. I'll have to check it out. The floor is yours if you'd like to share. And if not, maybe you can just share with me what you're doing for Christmas this year. I'd love to know that as well. Rosie says, it would be cool to talk about and find ways to honor other seasonal holidays during this time of year as well. That's beautiful. I am trying to work on similar to this, not exactly like this, but to honor different, for example, the winter solstice. So significant astronomical events throughout the year. As I get better at creating content, I would like to share other important, significant astronomical events through the year. John says Astra sings Christmas carols. Ah, I like how you're circling back to my Christmas wish, which is to learn how to sing. Yes, maybe I'll be good enough next year to sing Christmas carols. Spooky says next year we gotta watch a Christmas movie. Ooh, is there a favorite Christmas movie that you enjoy? Actually, this is not a Christmas movie, but one of my favorite all-time movies is The Martian. I was thinking of jumping on Twitch and maybe watching The Martian together with Moonmakers. Would anybody be interested? Any takers? Basalt? Hi, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Basalt says we should have a Christmas theremin concert. Ooh, that's a good one. I love the theremin. Okay, Rosie says 1 vote for Astra to sing Christmas carols next year. Ooh, okay. I am up for the challenge. Amir says they're having a family dinner this Christmas. That's lovely. Are you there to eat or help cook? Both are wonderful, but I'm just curious. Dizzy says, share Christmas poems we find or write. That's a beautiful one. I think that's great, yes, to share Christmas poems. Spooky says their favorite Christmas movie is The Polar Express. Maybe we can watch The Polar Express together too. Bleach asks, are we going to have an anniversary stream? Ooh, anniversary stream is a good idea. That would have to be in August. That would be the first anniversary. Thank you for the compliment, John. I'm working up. It took a lot of courage to work on the Starliner. It will probably take a lot of courage to learn to sing. But thank you so much for the compliment. Rosie says, a claymation Christmas movie. Ooh. Fernando says, for Christmas, you have some birthdays. Oh, okay, your birthday is also this month. Well, happy birthday. We share a birthday month. A 1 vote for Tokyo Godfathers as a Christmas movie. Glib would love to enjoy the movies next to a warm fire. That sounds lovely. Spooky says August feels so far away now. Yeah, believe it or not, the Starliner has only been flying for 4 months. We have 8 more to go to reach a year. All right. I think we will wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much for your patience earlier with me with the Starliner and the technical difficulties. From the darkest night to the shortest day, you've wandered far enough tonight. I feel your mind softening at the edges. The cabin is quiet. The engines hum low. Sleep now, Moonwaker. You are stardust. You are story. You are safe. Let the beautiful things drift away. Let the strange things drift away. Let the beautiful ones stay. Let the stars hold the rest. Good night, Moonwaker. I'll meet you again in the silence between the stars. Thank you for joining. Have a good night. Merry Christmas. Or Happy Solstice if you don't celebrate. Thank you for joining.